Welcome and thanks for joining me. This is part 1 of making a fall rag quilt. Part 1 involves cutting and sewing the squares. So let's get busy and let me show you my inspiration for this quilt is off of my Pinterest, and they're very easy to make. Rag quilts are super easy and great for beginners. So let's get busy and I'll share with you the first steps in making a rag quilt. I went to Walmart and purchased some more fabric to make this quilt, and it's just going to be a really cute little lap quilt to put in my living room during the fall. And I already had some of the orange and brown from when I made the yo-yo table runner. So I'm going to use that up, and then I went to Walmart and picked out some more coordinating fabrics. And it's just such an easy process that if you're a beginner, you can do this. It's not hard. You do need a nice pair of scissors, rotary cutter, and a pattern. So I picked up these Waverly packets. They're 1 yard fabric pieces, and they're just perfect. They're not very expensive. They're already cut for you in 1 yard sections, and I love this fall wood lodge look, and it has little individual squares with all kinds of different fall themes, and so I thought that would be perfect to go with this fabric. Now I'm going to back this with fleece. So by using fleece, I don't have to put in batting. I can just use the soft fleece as the back and the batting. And this is 1.5 yard package of anti-peel fleece, which is perfect for this project because it won't knot all up on the back. So I actually purchased 2 of these packages, and they were about $7 a piece. And that's not a bad price for fleece right now. So what we're going to do is start to cut all of the fabric pieces. Now if you don't have a rotary cutter and a template, I'm using a 6-inch square template, then you can always cut out a square out of cardboard and make your own pattern. But this was mine. I've had this for years, and this is what I use to cut out the fleece and to cut out all of the squares in all of these fabrics. So let me show you how easy it is to start cutting. I have a nice counter in my kitchen that I do all my work on, just about, but it is nice and long, and it works perfect for these projects. So what I've done is I folded the fabric in half, and I'm going the long way and cut it 6 inches long. So it's going to be a perfect square. So I went through there and cut all my long pieces first, exactly 6 inches across, and just using my rotary cutter and my yardstick, I measured 6 inches, and then I made sure that it fit my template, and then I just ran my rotary cutter down the edge, and I always make sure I put a new blade in when I start a project. Okay, now once all my long strips are done, now we got to cut out our squares. So just taking that template, and I just work my way down the strip and I cut. So it's 6 by 6 inch squares. You can make yours any size you want. This just works for me. I can get a lot out of 1 yard of material. And then on the fold there, I just opened it up, and I'm going to cut it to match the rest, 6 by 6. Now these mats that I'm cutting on are great. They are perfect for cutting out fabric. You don't have to mess up your counter. They're kind of self-healing. Now I cut off that end down there because I don't want that in my quilt. And then again, using the same technique, I just measure each 6-inch square and take my rotary cutter and cut. Now I did this with all of the fabrics. They were all cut exactly the same way as I did this, and then the fleece, the package of fleece. I cut it in also into 6-inch squares. So the cutting part does take a while to get done, but you want it done right, so you take your time and And just make sure everything is exactly square. So after I've gotten everything cut, all of the fleece and all of the cotton pieces, it's time to start putting these together. Again, if you can have a big long workspace, this works perfect. So I lined all my squares up on the counter, and then I just started piecing them together. I take one piece of cotton fabric and just lay it on top of a piece of fleece. And so all of the cut pieces are now matched with their backing. See how pretty and easy this is? It's not hard. And then I just stack them. And you can see the Moose Lodge pieces I've already done, and I've just got them all stacked. And then we'll start the sewing process after I get everything matched up. Now I'm not sure yet how big I'm going to make this. Originally I was thinking 8 squares across and 10 squares down. But we'll kind of see how that goes after I get some sewing done. Then we'll lay these out and just see how wide actually 8 squares is. I may have to go to 10 by 12 squares, but we'll see. That's in the next video. So here is everything cut and matched with the fleece backing. Now these, I decided at the last minute to draw on some leaves with a colored pencil, and then I hand embroidered around. And you can see how nice they turned out. The rest of these are going to have an X across it sewn, but I decided that the lodge pieces are little individual squares. So if I sew those as an X, the squares don't pop out. So I thought it would really look like a patchwork quilt if I just went down and sewed each square. And boy, did it make a difference. It looks so pretty. I had done a couple with just a square and it just didn't pop. But when I go in and sew around each individual picture, it makes it kind of puff up. So it looks like a patchwork design. It's really neat. I was real tickled with that. So that's going to take some time. Like I said, I want to try to have this ready by October. So I don't mind taking my time and getting everything sewed exactly like I wanted. So that's where I am right now in this process, is just sewing. I kind of do this in the evening. Sometimes when I wake up in the middle of the night, I've got this set up in my bedroom now so I can just sew if I can't get back to sleep. So in part 2, which will come after I get everything sewed, we'll do layout and we'll start sewing our blocks together. So there's the embroidered one. I won't sew those anymore. They're already sewn together. But I've got to put X's on the 3 stacks there, and then I've got to finish sewing the blocks. So stay tuned for that. And you know what? Upcoming in September, I'm going to be doing everything apple. I have a great Pinterest board on all kinds of apple ideas, so I'm going to bring you along and we'll have some fun. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope everyone has a safe and blessed day.